You're watching Fox 61 Morning News.
Now at 6, people that live at Concierge apartments in Rocky Hill had to evacuate their homes after the building was deemed unsafe. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle has the latest, as well as a look ahead to an announcement expected to come this afternoon. But first, we want to say good Monday morning to you. The Monday after Super Bowl Sunday is always a little tough to get up. Thanks for joining us on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Bridget Bureau.
And I'm Erica Arias. We hope you had a great weekend, even though I'm sure a lot of you are a little disappointed this morning because the Patriots lost. But we're moving on. It's Monday, a new week. We're checking in with Rachel Piscatelli. It's still cold out there, and we are going to get, you mentioned a warm-up.
Yes.
Tomorrow. Is there going to be some snow coming our way?
Yeah, there could be a little bit of
rumblings of that.
Yeah, there could be a little additional snowfall as we head into Tuesday night. This is tied to a warm front, but that's actually going to warm us up. Now, this isn't expected to be a blockbuster storm, but neither was this weekend. And if you were in eastern Connecticut like I was, up to about 6 to 8 to even 9 inches of snow fell in eastern areas along 395, whereas the rest of the state dealt with 1 to 2 inches of snow. Not as cold this week, though. We do have this cold weather advisory for Monday. Wind chill values as low as 15 degrees below zero. Protect pets, people, and your water pipes. What you did yesterday is kind of how you want to prepare for at least this morning. Temperatures now are anywhere from about 3 to 10 degrees, but when you factor in a little bit of wind gusting close to 5 to 15 miles per hour, higher gusts reported, it's taking just about everybody down to either 0 or sub-zero. 9 below in Chester is what it feels like, 7 below in Willimantic, and 9 below in Torrington. So for the kids at the bus stop, as they return to school, you want to make sure that they bundle up. This afternoon, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 20s, but when you factor in the wind, it'll feel like the teens, mostly in the lower teens this afternoon to the lower 20s with under sunny skies. So for today, temperatures 28 degrees in Southington, 30 in New Haven, southeastern Connecticut, the upper 20s and lower 30s. Heading through the day tomorrow, temperatures will be in the teens, but as we look to track a little bit of snow as we head towards the afternoon and into the evening, there could be some slick spots for the evening commute on Tuesday, wrapping up prior to daybreak on Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, temperatures will be around 40. Mother Nature going to help melt some of that snow packed out there. We'll talk about just how higher numbers are expected to get this week coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02, as we check in with the roadways this morning, we are largely quiet across the state, which is certainly some good news now, with the exception of Mansfield. Route 32 still blocked off this morning because of that train derailment, so you will need to seek an alternative route in the area. Bridget.
All right, Rachel, thanks. And speaking of that train derailment that we told you about from last week in Mansfield, it caused a pretty big mess. Crews have been working nonstop to try to get it cleaned up and keep the liquid propane the train was transporting contained. Looks like they have been successful in that effort so far, but Fox 61's Joe Monti is live on the scene with the very latest. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Look, crews are working hard here in Mansfield to get that train derailment cleaned up in the area of 275 and Route 32. Now look, you shouldn't expect it to be all cleaned up and ready to go for you today or even tomorrow. The road is still closed and it's not going to be open for some time. That's because this train derailment is still in the process of being cleaned up. There's still a mess down there that crews are working on. And again, don't expect it today or tomorrow. We're told over the weekend that this could be for another few days. Now, over the weekend, we did learn that 6 train cars, which ended up off the tracks and in the Willimantic River, were removed from the water as part of the cleanup. One of the next steps are to empty the derailed train cars, including the liquid propane that was on some of them. To get rid of that propane, there may be some controlled burns. Test results came back over the weekend that confirmed none of the liquid propane on the train cars leaked because of the crash, and following those test results, the shelter-in-place order for the area has been lifted. However, the emergency declaration is still in place just to make sure crews on the scene can get the resources they need as soon as possible. Now, people that live in the area can still access their homes, and there are even a couple of businesses that are allowed to be open. But overall, Route 32 is still closed and will remain closed for some time. We'll bring you the latest as soon as we get it. For now in Mansfield, Joe Monti, Fox 61.
Yeah, very good news that none of that liquid propane leaked, got into the environment. I know that was a big concern, so the crews are doing some really good work there.
Yeah, especially to people who live in the area.
Scary, for sure.
All right, Joe, thanks.
Thank you. Firefighters in Bristol put out a 2-alarm fire. This happened last night. They say the fire started on Summer Street at a 3-story home around 8:30 p.m. Everyone was able to get out safely, and firefighters were able to put most of the fire out within 15 minutes time. No one was hurt, but 9 people, including an infant, were displaced. The fire is now under investigation.
And a deadly house fire is now under investigation in Bristol. This happened on Saturday morning just before 8:30 on Perkins Street. The fire was reported by a city plow driver. Fire officials say the fire was in the basement, but crews were able to give first aid to a victim located in the kitchen. Unfortunately, they later died. The Bristol Fire Marshal's office is now investigating what caused the fire.
6:05 now. Firefighters battling a blaze at a commercial and residential building in Derby early Sunday. Firefighters struggled early on when several fire hydrants were frozen at Derby Avenue. Crews evacuated around 10 residents. 2 people were taken to nearby hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries, and 1 firefighter was hospitalized due to winter weather exposure. Now, fire crews say because the power lines are so close to the building, they had to cut the power. But at the Dunkin' Donuts down the road, power was the least of the baristas' worries. The duo jumped into action, doing whatever they could to help first responders with a side of free donuts and coffee.
Everybody was running up and down. A whole bunch of ambulance and fire trucks were coming through. So, we decided, why not? Let's help.
The American Red Cross is assisting the displaced families this morning, while the fire marshal's office is working to determine what caused that fire to spark. 6:06 now. And we have developing news this morning. An investigation is underway in Windsor Locks to find out how a 93-year-old woman got out of her car at her health care facility and later died. Windsor Locks police say she has been known to wander off. She had an alert device that would go off if she left Bickford Health Care Center. Staff at the center did not notice the woman was gone until 4:45 yesterday morning. She was eventually found unresponsive outside, lying on the snow just south of the center. Staff claim she still had a pulse when crews got there. She was taken inside and police were called just before 6:30. A cause of death has not yet been determined.
Police have identified the suspect in a stabbing in Waterbury. This is video from the scene on Wood Street Friday afternoon. Police say they arrested 20-year-old David Hernandez, but we still don't know much about what led up to the stabbing. Hernandez is being held on a $750,000 bond. He's set to appear in court later today. The victim, a 27-year-old man from Meriden, is still in the hospital.
6:07 now. The Newington Ice Arena safely reopened after it was evacuated Saturday night because of a carbon monoxide scare. Connecticut Natural Gas and Newington firefighters eventually determined a faulty rooftop HVAC unit and a Zamboni ice resurfacing machine were producing CO in the building. Again, the arena has been given the all clear. It's back to its regular schedule this morning.
All over the past 2 weeks, it has been nothing but chaos for tenants at the Concierge apartments in Rocky Hill. Pipes froze, they burst, and that flooded several buildings. And then on Thursday, people who live in 2 of the 5 buildings were told that they needed to get out by midnight because the building was deemed unsafe. We are expecting to hear more from Attorney General William Tong later today. Last Friday, he demanded answers, as well as a plan to fix all of the damages from JRK Property Holdings. That's the owners of the Concierge apartment buildings. We spoke to a tenant who's only lived in his unit for 10 days as they were packing up. They say the past 2 weeks living at the Concierge have been the things of nightmares.
Just didn't think they were going to evacuate the buildings. There's no timeline on anything, so you can't even have any peace of mind. They really need to just let people move on.
Well, we reached out to the California-based property owners. Again, that's JRK Property Holdings. So far, we have not heard back. The Attorney General has requested reimbursements and void lease options for tenants. The company stated, quote, they did not see a basis for permitting tenants to break their leases, and that, quote, all units currently have heat and running water. Well, this is a live look at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. That's where the Seattle Seahawks won their second Super Bowl title in franchise history last night. They beat the New England Patriots 29-13. And a lot of people across Connecticut and New England gathered last night to watch the big game. One local Puerto Rican business in Hartford was full of excitement for the big game.
It wasn't just inside the restaurant that was busy yesterday. There were also plenty of takeout orders, as you can imagine. The workers at Aki Mikado said they were also excited to see Bad Bunny perform on the iconic stage. A proud Puerto Rican from Hartford says the music was meant to bring communities together.
It's such an honor because I'm from Puerto Rico and I'm so proud that Bad Bunny is making it all the way to the top.
Bad Bunny's halftime performance comes days after his Grammy Award for Best Album of the Year, and he put on quite the show.
He did. You saw it, right?
I saw it, all 13 minutes of it. I felt like it went by extra fast, as it always does, but I'm like, oh, I wanted to keep it going.
Yes, I feel like it was a set like no other halftime show before.
Very detailed. All the backup dancers were great. Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin made an appearance.
Surprise. Yeah.
That was cool.
All right, well, still to come here on the Fox 61 Morning News. A new report finds American workers have less than $1,000 saved for retirement. We're going to tell you what this could mean as a lot of people are inching closer to retirement.
Also this morning, Providence officials are expected to release public records related to the Brown University shooting that's happening later today. What we are expecting to learn from those records.
And don't forget, the state's cold weather protocol is still in effect through tomorrow. If you need transportation to a shelter or additional resources and information, you can always contact 211 for additional help. And stay with us. We'll be right back. That like can be changed.
Correct.
I had to do a couple double takes at the Super Bowl when I saw the bright blue skies, sunshine. I'm like, what time is it? First of all, they're 3 hours behind us, but also
yeah, and they're in California.
Jealous of that weather. I want to be there right now.
I'm pretty sure it was like upper 60s, low 70s, and sunny. It was, just a dream to be there, right?
Yes.
With colder numbers outside yesterday afternoon, it was brutally cold. And today's going to be another one where it's going to be cold, but we do have better numbers on the way.
So we have to get through today.
Yes, we're just going to get through today.
We can do that,
Over
yeah.
the last 24 hours. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We got through yesterday where temperatures started off in the single digits to almost 0 degrees, if not sub-zero, and then we got those numbers up to around 14 in the afternoon. They're down to the single digits this morning. It is a cold start to our morning now with a weather impact alert, at least for now. Yesterday afternoon, temperatures around 14 degrees in Hartford, 17 in Bridgeport, and 15 in New Haven. Bridgeport's low high temperature actually broke the record. So it's a record low high. Windsor Locks set back in 1934 was 12 degrees. We got to 15, so we were just shy of it. But in Bridgeport, 18 degrees back in 1994. We broke that at 17 degrees as now the new record that will hold. After we get through today, we have better numbers on the way. Temperatures today will be in the upper 20s. We'll get into the mid 30s for Tuesday, around 40 degrees on Wednesday. So Mother Nature is actually going to help us out a little bit and help to melt some of that snowpack that's out there. We need a little bit more warmer numbers, I guess, on the way to get everything out of the picture here, but at least we'll have some help as we head into this upcoming weekend as well. Temperature wise for this morning, it is a bit brutal cold morning. Sub-zero numbers, wind chills down to around 15 below. So you need to bundle up and limit time outside, especially this morning through about 10 o'clock. Temperature now around in New Haven is around 9 degrees, but it feels like 7 below with winds at 14. Here's what it looks like in Hartford, a mostly clear sky. We're around 3 degrees there. The wind starting to pick up in the Hartford area. A little bit warmer than this time yesterday as most of us started off 0, if not sub-zero. 4 degrees warmer in Willimantic now, 7 degrees warmer in Chester, and it's about 9 degrees warmer in Waterbury. So right now our numbers around 1 in Warren, 4 degrees in Washington, 6 in Hartford, 6 degrees in Waterbury, and around 4 degrees right now in Willimantic, 7 in Putnam. Heading through the next couple of hours, we'll see mostly clear skies once the sun comes up in a little bit in the next 30 to 40 minutes. We will see those numbers get up to around 19 degrees at 11 a.m. into the mid to upper 20s, but we know that the wind chill will be likely in the single digits and lower teens for the most part today. Heading through the day tomorrow, it is not as cold. Temperatures will be in the teens to start into the 30s in the afternoon, but we are tracking an opportunity for some light snow as we head into the evening. 4 o'clock, we see some snow showers develop. It fills in by 9 o'clock, and then we see things wind down towards the overnight hour. So it's not a prolonged period of snow, but it could put down maybe a coating to up to an inch for the most part. There could be 1 to 2, if not higher elevations, picking up 1 to about 2.5 inches of snow. After that, temperatures will be around 40 degrees on Wednesday, 33 on Thursday, 35 on Friday. And then as we head into Saturday, temperatures will be quite nice. We'll be around 40 degrees Saturday, 39 on Sunday. Checking in with the roads this morning here at 617. We do have this crash over in Tallinn, so just heads up for folks. This is going to be on exit 67. This is backed up towards exit 68 on the eastbound side of 84. This is a 2-vehicle crash. A live look outside over in Hartford as you're traveling into downtown. No significant delays. Your drive times here look fine from New Britain out to the Hartford Tunnel, eastbound 84 at about 6. Brent.
In your Fox 61 Business Report, an investigation is now underway as a major streaming service tries to purchase a global media and entertainment company. The Wall Street Journal reports the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating Netflix for potential anti-competitive practices. The report says Netflix could become a monopoly if it acquires Warner Brothers. Netflix made an $82.7 billion bid for the company in December, shortly after Paramount made its own offer, which halted the deal and started a bidding war. According to the report, the DOJ is also reviewing Paramount's offer for potential anti-competitive tactics. The report says the DOJ has the power to block the sale if they believe it puts Netflix's competitors at an unfair disadvantage. A new report finds the average American worker has less than $1,000 saved for retirement. The nonpartisan National Institute on Retirement Security says millions of Americans could find themselves financially strapped in their old age. The study looked at workers with 401ks and other retirement plans, while also including about 56 million workers who don't have an employer-sponsored retirement plan. It found median savings for all employed adults between the ages of 21 and 64 amounted to $955. For workers who do have retirement savings, the median balance was $40,000. Researchers say this is especially concerning because if Congress does not address Social Security's funding shortfall, benefits could be cut by about 20% starting in 8 years. Well, how invested you are in the stock market is probably impacting your view of the economy right now. A University of Michigan consumer survey shows general sentiment is up this month. The survey's director says the positivity was fueled by people with the biggest stock portfolios. It makes sense because the year kicked off with big gains in equities. The market has shown remarkable resilience in the face of economic pressures and uncertainty. It's seen double-digit growth in each of the past 3 years. The survey also found Americans without a wealthy stock portfolio are less likely to feel optimistic about the economy. In studio, Brent Harden, Fox 61.
All right, thanks, Brent. When we come back on the Fox 61 Morning News, one woman is keeping her friend's memory alive, how she's helping others in a similar situation, and raising awareness for domestic violence. That's next.